You can batch create 30 days of music artist content in less than 2 hours. And I want to show you how on this episode coming up right after this intro. Join me in my mission to help put at least 50,000 music artists on the right track to be independently successful with their music, to turn the talent that they have with their voice into gold. My name is Billy Nellis, and welcome to the Golden Voice Podcast. Boom! Okay, so following a conversation that I had on one of the previous episodes where I talked about how to find your audience online, right? And by the way, if you haven't tuned into that episode yet, I highly recommend that you go in and catch up. Following after that, and of course, this is kind of, a continuation of my, music marketing to freedom framework, the 5 keys to music freedom. And I'm at the part where you're going to have to produce some content to attract your audience to you, to bring them to your world and everything. And that's absolutely important. All right. So no matter whether you like it or not, okay, I want you to put it in your head. If you are making music and you want to eventually live off of it, you have to know that it's a business that you're running. All right. And as a musician, you are automatically a content creator, and there's no way around that. All right. So like I was saying, once you identify and find your audience online, you're going to have to produce some content that are going to attract them to you. All right. So with that said, I'm going to share a method that is inspired from the Traffic Secrets book by one of my mentors, Russell Brunson. He speaks about this JK5 method by Jenna Kutcher inside of the book on page 162. And if you go to the Golden Voice Podcast /TS, you can also get this book, Traffic Secrets, for free. Just pay for shipping to get it directly to your door, right? I'm going to link it right here. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see on the video. If not, just go to the goldenvoicepodcast.com /TS to get that free resource, right? He talks about the JK5 method, where you're going to have to create 5 main categories of things that you are passionate about. But I think just to make it easier, and like I said, it's inspired from a method that he discovered, I'm going to make it the JK4, which means you're going to create 4 main categories of things that you are passionate about. And I'm just going to give them to you so that you can go ahead and implement that for yourself. And in the event that you want to change one of these buckets, right, you can go ahead and change that for yourself. But I actually gonna have to share this calendar at one point. It's like a content plan for 365 days that I kind of create for myself. But at one point, I'm gonna have to share this calendar with you so that you can go ahead and create content and never wonder about what am I gonna post tomorrow, right? I know that a lot of artists don't know what to post. They need some content ideas. Well, I'm gonna give you some. All right. So what you're going to do is, like I said, you're going to create 4 categories of things that you're going to be passionate about or that you're going to post about. All right. And 4 of them that I want to give you, for example, is number 1, conversational, because like I said, when you're online and you want to find your audience, you're going to have to be a part of the conversation. This is why social media has the word social in it, right? You're going to have to conversate with people, build relationships, and be a part of the conversation, right? So type content that you're going to want to post. Number 1 is conversational. Number 2 is personal. Some of the personal stuff that you can share, not to go super extreme there, but there's some things that people are going to want to know about you other than just the music alone. And although music is going to be one of the categories here, you are going to want to, to a certain extent, share some personal things with the content that you're going to create. And just think about it this way. Document your journey, right? People are going to be a lot more interested about you, who you are, and like you as a person by seeing your progress, where you started and where you're going, so that they can go back and be like, man, this is where it was. Look where he is now. Oh my God, this is amazing. And you're going to be a lot more likable than just coming through all shiny and all, everything is looking amazing, and they have no idea who you are, where you came from, and what your story is, right? So number two, personal, and then number three, viral, because the importance of having a viral category with the four types of content that you're gonna post is because there's some things that are happening right now that you can leverage off of when it comes to your content. For example, if something is in the news, right, that is music related, you can, create some content and grab the attention of the people if it relates to who you are, what you do, your values, and everything like that, right? You can leverage off of that to create some content as well, and that viral news or that viral content, you can create certain things that are gonna match. Like I said, who you are, your message, what you stand for, and everything, and that's a cool aspect that we never want to miss. And of course, the number four category would be music, right? So music would be one of the categories. So anything music related, how you make it, and of course, it relates to documenting your story as well. But this is something important because people are gonna want to see that you are a musician, right? Not that you're gonna all post about things that are non-music related completely. Music is going to be the main thing that you're going to want to post about. All right. So once you identify those four categories, and you can do that for yourself as well, okay, you're going to go ahead and create four folders on either your phone or your computer or wherever it is that you want to share store that content. And what you're going to want to do, okay, so block out, say, 2 hours. Okay, I'm saying like in less than 2 hours, but say that you block an hour or two to fill up these folders. All right, so you're gonna have two folders that are gonna have 8 pieces of content in there, and two folders that are gonna have 7 pieces of content in there, for a total of 30 if you want to post once per day. All right. So conversational are things like trivia. Okay. So I'm gonna give you some example right here as I'm looking at my content calendar over here. Conversational can be something where you're sharing about one of your favorite music producers, or you're asking a question on a campaign, or you're creating a trivia post where there's multiple choices of questions that are gonna, invite your people to engage with you with what you post, and share about an artist or someone you look up to. Or another example of conversationals is share about someone that supports you and your music. It just invites the conversation with your audience, and as you are growing, people are going to engage with you with that. And I think that's something super important, so that you can get to know. For example, there's a content idea that I got the other day where you're asking, okay, in which month is your birthday? So say that you're a music artist, right, singer, songwriter, rapper, whatever, and you ask your audience, when is your birthday? You look at the comment, and you kind of take note of, whose birthday it is that month, or whatever the case may be. And just imagine sending a quick voice note as you're building a relationship with your audience, to say happy birthday to them. That can be something huge that you can do, and people can recognize you for that. And I thought that's something pretty cool. All right. So fill up that conversational folder up with 8 pieces of content that just invites a conversation with your audience, and there you go, you'll be done with that. Now you move on to the next folder, or the next category, or next bucket, which is personal, right? So you would share things like share something about that you're passionate about other than music, for example, right? Share a throwback picture of yourself with some story caption, with a story of yourself in the caption. I think that we've all seen the throwback Thursdays and things like that. Share something a little bit personal, so that your audience can get to know you, right? Something that's gonna be a memory of the best vacation that you went on to, right? Maybe it's something like what your to-do list looks like today. You see what I'm saying? Like, share something, personal, that's gonna have your audience get to know you a little bit better. All right. And then another one is viral. And as I was talking about that, I mentioned a few things that you can use, right? You can share a viral piece of content from one of your favorite artists, You can share about some music industry news that you've heard. You can share a viral piece of content that's going out right now that you kind of noticing that people are resharing. And with the TikTok feature where you can duet a video or remix on Instagram, for example, you can grab a piece of content and you just remixed it. And I think I've did that in the past. I think I did that in one of my recent posts, right, where I'm like listening to a video that shares some valuable information that my audience would want to hear, right? What my people, my followers on Instagram. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram yet, you can go follow me there at Big Shot Beats _, right? So I just go ahead and remix a piece of content. It can be some music industry news, some music industry hot topic, just overall share a funny meme, something, that's kind of viral that you can share on your page as well as leverage so that you can also attract your audience with that piece of content, right? I think that's something pretty cool that you can do, right? Share a viral comedy post, something that made you laugh, and things of that nature. And like I said, fill up 8 of those in that folder and you'll be done with that. Now we were on number 3, which was viral. Now number 4 is music. So anything music related. So what I would do, maybe, you can put 8 pieces of content in there, and then instead of filling up the viral one with 8, then you can make it 7. You understand what I mean, right? So because you want 30 pieces of content in that. So music can be just share a picture of a single or an album cover that you work on. You're in car performing one of your songs or one of your singles, right? Anything music related, share the space that you use to create music. Maybe you went to the studio, you share the environment or how cool the studio looks, and things like that. Share your website and what it looks like. Share anything music related, the instruments that you play. Maybe you're writing a song and you started something, the behind the scenes of whatever is happening with your music, and you fill up that folder with eight pieces of content right there, pictures, videos, and then you'll be good to go right there. And there you go, my friend. So folder number 1 would have conversational piece of content. I would make it 8 files or 8 piece of content in that folder. And then you go to personal, you can make it 7, and then you go to viral, you can make it 7 again. And then number 4 category or bucket or folder number 4, which is music, you can make it 8 pieces of content. You compile that in all those folders, and you'll have right there 30 pieces of content that you can schedule out with a tool like Create Studio. If you're on Instagram, for example, on Facebook, you can easily look it up, Create Studio. You can go in and schedule out all your posts. And for the viral one, sometimes you may want to adjust because if there's some news or something happening that's new, you kind of want to adapt and leverage off of what's happening that day or something like that. But you can schedule out all your content for the month, in less than 2 hours if you fill those in. And there you go, my friend. This is how you can go about creating your music artist content for 30 days in less than 2 hours. And if you really break it down, 7 to 8 pieces of content per category or per folder, it's doable. It's just that you have to go at it. You have to get started somewhere. Maybe you want to do it just for the week, or maybe you want to do it for 2 weeks, or maybe, you know what I mean? Like some people, I've heard some people go to the extent of creating content for 6 months, but then they have certain gaps in there that allows them to leverage off of music industry news or what's actually happening that day, so that they can kind of modify a little bit of the schedule and everything. But I think that's something pretty cool that you can use in order for you to create some music artist content. And just keep in mind, it doesn't always have to be music all the time. You have to switch it up a little bit on your grid, especially if we're talking about, say, Instagram or TikTok and stuff like that. And of course, you're going to want to study how the platform that you're using for social media works. But you know what I mean? It's if you have the fundamentals down to that, creating 4 categories or 4 buckets or 4 things that you're passionate about, and you just go back and you create these folders on your devices, on your phone, on your computer, and you fill it up. Sorry about that. I think I just hit my mic right there, but there you go. This is how you can go about create 30 days of content in less than 2 hours. You bulk create all of it so that you can focus on other things as you're moving forward. And as you're growing, as things are going to be growing, you can start delegating some of these things to somebody that's going to be on your team so that they can build that up for you. And that's something that, again, be pretty good. So anyways, hopefully that was of value. I think that's a great method for you to go about creating some content as an independent music artist that just want to get the attention of your audience on the social media. And hopefully that what's really important here is that you get the information, but you have to also go and implement that in your music business or your daily activities, so that you can leverage off of this strategy. All right, so hopefully that was of value. Hopefully you'll be able to go and implement. Share this with somebody that would possibly want to hear about that in the event that they may be stuck. When it comes to creating some content, there's no reason to overthink it. You just have to implement this, see how it works for you. And what's cool is that you can bulk create some content in advance so that you don't you don't wonder, wake up the next day and you're like, man, what am I gonna post today? Which used to happen to me, and sometimes it happens to me too, because I'm working on a lot of projects and sometimes I fall back. But that's one of the most effective strategies that I've used to put out content consistently to get in front of my audience. All right, so with that said, I'm going to sign out now. Hopefully that was of value, like I said, and I will talk to you on the next one.